Hello and welcome. Sometimes life throws us a curveball so strange, so unsettling, that it forces us to re-examine everything we thought we knew, not just about the world around us, but about ourselves. Today, I want to share a story from a woman named Sarah, a tale that began with an act of kindness and unfolded into a profound, haunting confrontation with her own past. It was a Tuesday afternoon, still bright but with the crisp hint of autumn in the air, when Sarah first saw him. She was driving down a quiet country road, a route she often took for the sheer peace of it, when a flash of movement by the ditch caught her eye. It was a dog, a scruffy, medium-sized mutt, clearly in distress. Its leg was bent at an unnatural angle, and it whimpered softly, a sound that pierced Sarah's heart. She pulled over without a second thought. Approaching cautiously, she saw the dog was trembling, its fur matted with mud and what looked like dried blood. It tried to pull away, a mix of fear and pain in its eyes. But Sarah spoke to it gently, her voice low and soothing. "It's okay, boy. I won't hurt you." Slowly, she managed to gain its trust, coaxing it into the back of her SUV. The drive to the vet was silent, punctuated only by the dog's shallow, ragged breaths. The vet confirmed a broken leg, thankfully clean, and some severe bruising. "He's lucky you found him, Sarah," the vet said, patting her shoulder. "He's a survivor." Sarah decided to take him in. She named him Gus, a simple, warm name that felt right. For the first few days, Gus was quiet, subdued, healing. Sarah, a widow who had been navigating the quiet halls of her home alone for 2 years since her husband Michael passed, found a surprising comfort in Gus's presence. She'd spend evenings reading by the fire, Gus's bandaged leg resting gently on her lap. He was a good patient, remarkably calm for an injured animal. And he recovered fast, too fast perhaps. Within a week, the vet was amazed by his progress. The cast was off sooner than expected, and Gus was soon limping, then trotting, then running with an unbridled joy that seemed to defy the severity of his initial injury. It was as if he was shedding his past trauma with every wag of his tail. Sarah found herself smiling more, laughing at Gus's playful antics, feeling a lightness she hadn't experienced in a long time. Gus wasn't just a dog, he was a companion, a silent witness to her daily life, bringing warmth back into her home. Then, one quiet evening, as Sarah was getting ready for bed, she heard it, a low murmur, almost a whisper, from Gus's basket in the living room. She paused, listening. It wasn't a bark or a whine. It sounded like a voice. She walked to the living room, a frown creasing her brow. Gus was curled up, seemingly asleep. She knelt beside him, stroking his fur. "Did you say something, boy?" she whispered, half joking. A moment of silence, then, clear as day, a voice spoke. "Sarah." It wasn't Gus's voice. It was deep, resonant, achingly familiar. It was Michael's voice, her late husband's voice. Sarah gasped, scrambling back, her heart hammering against her ribs. Gus's eyes fluttered open, looking at her with an unnerving intensity. He didn't bark, didn't move. He simply stared. "Michael?" she whispered, her voice trembling. "No, this isn't it. It can't be." The voice came again, calm, steady, from Gus. "It can be, and it is. There are things we need to talk about, Sarah. Things you thought were buried." Panic seized her. She wanted to run, to scream, to deny what she was hearing. But she was rooted to the spot, compelled by the sheer impossibility, the chilling reality of it. "Why now?" she managed to croak. "Because," the voice continued, still emanating from Gus, "you needed to be ready, and I needed to see that you would truly listen." And then the accusations began, not shouted, not angry, but delivered with the quiet, unsettling certainty of truth spoken from beyond. Things Sarah had done or not done, words she had left unsaid, small, almost imperceptible slights she had committed, often without conscious malice, during their marriage. moments she had dismissed as trivial, but which, through Michael's voice, now bore the weight of profound significance. "Do you remember that trip to the coast, Sarah?" the voice asked, and Gus shifted slightly, as if settling in for a long conversation. "The one where you said you were tired, but really, you just didn't want to watch the sunset with me. I just wanted to share it with you." Sarah felt a flush of shame. She did remember. It had been a small thing, a fleeting annoyance she'd long forgotten. But hearing it now, through Michael's voice, through Gus, it felt like a betrayal. "Or the time I asked you about the new job offer, and you just brushed it off, said it was fine." Gus's eyes seemed to hold an old pain. "I needed you to be excited for me, Sarah, or at least to pretend." Each accusation was a shard of glass, cutting through her carefully constructed piece. These weren't grand betrayals, but the subtle erosions of connection, the small moments of emotional distance that over years can carve canyons between two people. Sarah had convinced herself that their marriage had been good, that Michael's sudden passing had left no unfinished business. But now she was hearing the echoes of his unvoiced disappointments, his quiet hurts. For days, Gus would speak, always in Michael's voice, always bringing up another memory. Sarah was terrified, confused, but also strangely compelled. She couldn't eat, couldn't sleep properly. She found herself talking back to Gus, to Michael's voice, defending herself at first, then slowly, hesitantly, acknowledging the truth in his words. It was an agonizing supernatural therapy session. One afternoon, Gus, or rather Michael's voice, spoke of a particular argument they'd had years ago about a difficult decision regarding their savings. Sarah had been stubborn, unyielding. "You never truly heard me, Sarah," the voice said softly. "You just wanted to be right." And in that moment, something shifted within Sarah. The fear began to recede, replaced by a profound, heartbreaking clarity. She saw the patterns, the blind spots, the ways she had unknowingly shut Michael out, even when she believed she was loving him fully. I'm so sorry, Michael," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. She reached out and buried her face in Gus's fur, sobbing not just for Michael, but for the younger Sarah who hadn't known better. Gus licked her hand, a soft, warm gesture. And then the voice spoke one last time, not with an accusation, but with a gentle, sating whisper. "It's okay, Sarah. We all learn. Now, live." From that day on, Gus never spoke in Michael's voice again. He remained the playful, loving dog Sarah had brought home, full of life and warmth. But Sarah was changed. The house felt different, no longer haunted by a silence she had mistakenly believed was peaceful, but instead with a quiet understanding. The accusations from Gus had been painful, terrifying, but they had also been a gift, a chance to truly reckon with her past, to forgive herself for her imperfections, and to understand the complexities of love and loss in a way she never had before. She learned that sometimes the most unexpected messengers can bring the most profound truths. This story of Sarah and Gus reminds us that healing isn't always linear, and sometimes the lessons we need to learn come from the most surprising places. It's a powerful reminder that our past actions, even the small ones, leave imprints, and that true peace often begins with honest reflection and understanding. What are your thoughts on Sarah's extraordinary experience? Have you ever had an encounter that forced you to confront a hidden truth about yourself? Share your reflections in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. And if you found Sarah's story as compelling as I did, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more tales that explore the depths of the human experience.